champagne. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about champagne. I actually got this in the mail the other day from Chandon. Thank you very much for that. And I thought I would just kind of talk a little bit about why champagne, first of all, is in these really, really thick bottles, and why it is that people often freak out if you're not opening it correctly. And it's been known that you could pop your eye out. And that's just because a few different things. One of them is there's high levels of carbon dioxide stored in this bottle, which causes it to be highly pressured. It's between 5 to 6 atmospheres, which is a unit of pressure, which is equivalent to about 90 pounds per square inch of pressure. So it's a lot of pressure. And what exactly causes this to happen? Well, it has to do with a double fermentation process that started around the 17th century, which is when we first started making champagne or sparkling wine, and it is called Méthode Champagnoise. And it's so interesting because it has to do with the fermentation process of the wine itself that causes the alcohol content. For many of you guys that maybe don't know, the reason why alcohol is even created in a lot of different things, like with beer, with like wheat, and then you have like wine made of grapes, it's actually fermented. So when it goes through this fermentation process, alcohol tends to be created, and that's what causes that alcohol content in a lot of these drinks. And so with this, it's a double fermentation process that causes in result to the alcohol being produced also a really high level of carbon dioxide. And in order for it to even get put into this bottle, it has to go through a really tight pressure system. Usually it's a hydraulic system that causes the cork to actually be put in correctly and at the right amount of pressure to trap it all inside and trap in the carbonation also. That's why it doesn't go flat. It's usually like with soda also, it'll tend to go flat because of once it reaches oxygen, the carbon dioxide becomes mixed in with the oxygen molecules, and that's what will cause it to lessen in its carbonation, and it'll start to become flat. This is kind of heavy also, I keep holding it, and the reason for that too is the bottles are a lot thicker than a standard wine bottle. Where back in the 17th century, they were using standard wine bottles, and they were way too thin to be trapping those high levels of pressure and carbon dioxide that are found inside champagne. So they started making the bottles a lot thicker. And then they just started making the shape a little bit different too. But
why am I so scared?
Okay, oh, it's gonna, okay, no, it's not gonna pour over, look. Okay, yay, and that's all the bubbles.